I'm going to invite you to put a little mental file folder in your mind called possibilities. And everything we do in here today, just put it in that file folder called possibilities. And the reason is because you already have a belief system. And that belief system has served you. It got you here today. You have to say it has served you. But here's the thing. The world's changed. Nobody told us. And the world has changed in ways that we've never seen in recorded human history. And there are events unfolding in our lives, in our world, that we've not been prepared to adapt to and to accept into our lives. Some of them are more obvious than others. Some of them will become more obvious over these next 5 years, between now and the year 2030, and I'll talk about that. The belief system that got you to where you are today, it has served you. And I don't want to do anything to, in any way, dishonor that belief system. But I'm going to say this to you. The moment something happens in the world, or the moment something happens in your life, and you look to that belief system and it fails you, please don't struggle. Don't struggle and try to make it fit. Don't try to put a square peg into a round hole. Bless that belief system, let it go, come to the file folder called possibilities. I think you're going to be amazed at how well the information that we share today serves you in the world that is emerging, not the world of the past, but the world that stands in front of us right now. So for me, that helps to make it a very safe and fun way. We're going to explore new discoveries, new science. I have some experiential processes I'm going to lead you through. And just to be responsible, I want to say this. If anyone is listening to this webinar who is driving or operating heavy machinery, please do not close your eyes and do the meditations, okay? Don't try to do any of these meditations unless you're in a place that is safe and allows you to do just those things, okay? So with that, I'm going to launch right into our program. My goal, and I do have a goal, what I know is that every one of you, if you're with me today, every one of you is standing in front of a virtual doorway in your life. You're standing perched on the precipice of a door that is opening in front of you, a door that is the opportunity to become something very different in your life. The universe is at your doorstep, tapping you on the shoulder, or maybe tapping you on the feet, asking you to find a part of yourself, to embrace the changes in your life, the changes in your body, the changes in your nations, the changes in your families and your friends in ways that you've never been asked to do. I'm with you. We're all in this together. So we are all perched on the precipice of this doorway. It's an invitation, and you don't have to accept the invitation. It is an invitation to become the best version of yourself. So my goal is to awaken the confidence in you, to accept that invitation. Because I think we all know there is a new world. A new world is emerging. Would you agree with that? You see a new world emerging out there? Yeah, I'm watching you right now. But here's the thing. There is a new world, but the world out there is a mirror. It can only reflect what we have come to accept about ourselves. I want you to think about that. Technology, for example. We are living in a technological age. The tech is never right, wrong, good or bad. It's how it's applied, the thinking with how it's applied. Does the technology serve to make us free and healthy and vital? Or does the technology work to control us and to limit our abilities and our capabilities in life? So it's just tech, but the thinking is what's important. There's a new world emerging out there, but it's a reflection of the world in here, the world within. So before we begin, this is where I'm going to need your permission. Are you okay if I challenge your current belief system? Are you okay with that? If I say something that is counter to the narrative that you're being asked to accept in your life and your world, are you okay with that? I'm just asking you. Yes? All right. I'm assuming that this is a very informed audience. I don't have to begin at ground zero. You all have done a lot of reading, and many of you have been with me in the past. Are you okay if I go really deep and go really fast? You all right if we do that? Okay, I'm seeing a lot of thumbs up, so that means we can continue. See, if the thumbs were down, it'd be a different program. But I'm seeing lots of thumbs up. Thank you for that. Thank you for your trust. Now, the biggest question, are you absolutely sure? Are you absolutely sure that you're okay with those things? Okay, because we're going to come back to this in a little while, and I'm going to say, you told me that I could do this. All right. I want to begin simply by saying, you and I, we're in this together. We are absolutely not what we have been told in the past. We're not what we have been told by science and society and culture and friends and family, even well-meaning, typically, because we're only beginning to understand what it means to be human. And I'm going to say this to you right now. You are probably more than you have even dared to allow yourself to imagine yourself to be. There's something inside of us that wants to hold back. There's something inside of us that says we're not worthy of the greatness that is available to us. Well, this book, Pure Human, I wrote this very specifically for this time in history. This book is a celebration. It is a celebration of our humanness in a time when our humanness is being denigrated publicly. In our public schools, young people are being taught that we humans are a flawed species, F-L-A-W-E-D, flawed, that we are flawed by our very existence. Let me just give you an example. Some of the flaws that they talk about is human emotion. They believe that human emotion, it's being taught that emotion is a flaw because it clouds our ability to think logically and to make logical decisions. That's just one of the flaws. Well, empathy, sympathy, compassion are also being seen in some circles as a human flaw. I don't know about you, those are some of the things that I cherish most about our species. There's a movement right now to change this world, and you're seeing the consequences of that movement in your everyday life. You're seeing it in politics, you're seeing it in economics, you're seeing it in finance, you're seeing it in science, society, technology, but nobody's really putting it together for you. I want to have a little conversation here in this first hour, and I'm going to tell you right now, I've lost friends having this conversation because it is covering some topics that are simply not comfortable. But if you don't cover these topics, the changes in the world don't make sense. People come to me all the time and they say, Greg, what in the world is going on, man? Isn't it interesting that all these changes in the world are happening simultaneously? That they're all happening spontaneously in the world, whether we're talking about social change or climate change or political change or economic change or, all the things that we're seeing. Here's what you're not being told. It's not random. It's not spontaneous. There's a process. There's a structure. You and I are in the process right now, but nobody tells us. And the only way out of the process is to go through the process. And my goal is to help us to navigate so that we come through this process in a healthy way that's good for us, good for our families, good for our friends, to come in with a soft landing on the other side of this process. In the next 5 years, between now and 2030, you are going to be asked, you're going to be indoctrinated, you're going to be coerced, you may be mandated in some cases to make decisions, not just about your world, but about your body. That's what makes this so very different. You're going to see this in the program today. For the first time in human history, we have the ability not only to change the world around us. We've always had that ability. We began burning trees and coal and now fossil fuels for energy. That changes the world around us. And we've done some good things, planted lots of trees and done things to actually care for the environment. That's all in the world around us. For the first time in 5,000 years of recorded human history, we have the ability not just to change the world around us, but to change the world within us. and we're being asked to do just that in the next 5 years. The reimagining of the world is only possible when we change our biology.